Hello guys, welcome to the final lesson of the course. Now we have this animation. Let's see it from the beginning. Alright, it's all looking good. It looks pretty 3D, and that's exactly what we were after. So now it's time to add the final details. That makes that this is a general rule for any animation that you create. Don't just stay with the obvious parts of the animation. Try to make to make any animation look as natural as possible, and try to make it with the more details that you can, because all this plays along pretty well at the end. So that's some sort of advice from me. All right, so for example, on the eyes, I'm going to animate the opacity so that it looks like he's blinking. So I'm going to move to the first second, and I'm going to go back one frame. We can move closer. Alright, move just one frame from the first second, and open the opacity with T, and click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Now here this keyframe is on 100%. Now move one keyframe and change this to 0, and again move one keyframe and move this to 100. So we will have this blinking eyes. So now you can see that this is too fast. So if you want to add a better animation for this, all you have to do is to separate them with one more frame like this. So you can see that now this animation is smoother. Alright, so I want this to happen every 2 seconds, so I'm going to copy all these keyframes. Now on second 3, the same, and on second 5, the same thing. So we have blinking eyes. 2 seconds is good, because if we make this blink every 1 second, it will probably won't look so good. Alright, now one more thing here. For example, on the first blink, I want the eyebrows to move as well. So when the eyes blink, I'm going to open the position for the eyebrows. Just when the eyes stop blinking, click here on the stopwatch, move a few frames later, and change the position up, and then go back again, just like this. Make this easy ease. So we have a nice jump. He blinks and move the eyebrows a little bit. Alright, now a basic stuff that we need to do here is to change the mouth of this character. So when we get here, when the fly appears, he should look surprised. So make sure that the surprised mouth is following the eyes as well. Now all we have to do is to stop this mouth layer right here and start the surprised mouth right here. So when we get to this point, when the fly appears, we will change this here. So all the way to this point, but when we get here, we close this and we create a duplicate of the mouth, which will be called mouth 2, and get it here. So when the fly appears, it looks surprised, and when the fly ends, when the fly goes off the composition, we are smiling again. Alright, now another thing that we can fix is a little bit the eyebrows to give more depth to the eyebrows or to the face in general. I came up with this. When the eyes move, I'm going to open the position for the eyebrows, and when the eyes move, I'm going to click here, and when the eyes go down, you can see that the eyebrows are following the eyes, but that doesn't mean that we can change the position for the eyebrows as well. So I'm going to change the position a little bit down like this. So we will have a nice game here where the eyebrows move faster than the eyes. You can see that we created some sort of animation here where the eyebrows move faster than the eyes. And when they go back here, we can move them up a little bit, just like that. And here we can go back to the original position. Here we move this up, and here again we move this down. So now the eyebrows are not just following the position of the eyes, but they have their own animation, which makes it look more realistic, and we have some more depth now. We can move this down a little bit more, and at the end we leave this as they were. Alright, I like this. Now the final part is playing around with the ears. Now I have the ears right here. We haven't touched anything up until now, but now this time I want to change that. I'm going to click here on the position, and when the head moves to the right, I want to move the ears to the left so that we can have a little more depth like this. So now it looks like the ears are moving in a different way than the head, and that gives us more depth for the character. You can see, especially in this part, you can see how nice it looks. Alright, so here we are, and when we get here we can create a new keyframe here. Make sure it's easy ease. Always try to make them easy ease. When we get here, we can copy the same position as the original, and you will have this nice movement. You can see that the ears appear to be moving in a different way than the head, so this all of this creates some more depth into our character. Alright, we're here, create a keyframe, and on this point, instead of moving to the left, we're going to move it to the right. Another keyframe. You can see that we are creating keyframes all along with the eyes. Just create the same position, and that's it. Now let's see how it looks. You can see that this small detail with the ears made a lot of difference because it added so much more depth into our fake 3D layers, let's call it like this. It added so much more depth, and that's exactly what we are after on this course. Alright, now we are done with this animation, and now I'm going to show you how to create a GIF out of this animation. Let's save this. Just go to composition and add to render queue. Let's create a QuickTime file. You can put the audio off, click OK, save it wherever you want, and start rendering. When the render is complete, we're going to open Photoshop, and I'm going to open the composition, the render file that we just created. Just like a regular file, just drop it into Photoshop, click OK, and you will have this automatically. You will have created a timeline, and it's exactly what we did on After Effects. Okay, so we have this video. Now all we have to do is to go and press Alt, Control, Shift and S, or go to Export, Save for Web Legacy, and here wait for it, because of course the file is a little heavy because it comes from After Effects directly, so it may take some more time depending on your machine. Okay, make sure everything looks good and just click here on save. Make sure that it's on the looping options, it's on forever. Make save and save it on your desktop or wherever you want. And now we have created a GIF which will loop forever. You can see that it's non-stop. It will loop forever until you close this window. So that's it for the course. You can see that with a nice flat vector illustration from Freepik, we created some sort of 3D effect on an animation. Of course, you can see that it's not actually 3D because we didn't use a 3D software, but playing around with the depth, playing around with the positioning on the Z-axis of some of these layers, we could create a nice sort of 3D effect. You can see it here when he moves the eyes and everything, and it looks pretty cool, and it's pretty amazing that we can create this out of a vector file, out of an Illustrator file, without using any 3D software. So of course it's not that you are going to create an actual 3D movie or an actual 3D animation on After Effects using Illustrator, but you can create an awesome effect just like this, and you can see that it's actually quite easy once that you know the tools and you know the process that you have to follow. So please, if you have some comments, if you have some questions, please use the discussion board of the course, and remember that I'm going to share with you the vector file that I used to create this animation. And well, I hope that you enjoyed the course, and I would love if you create your own project based on this course. You can create it using this vector file, or you can create it using your own vector files from Freepik, or doing anything that you draw or anything that you had created on Illustrator before. You can use anything, but I would really love to see your own projects for this course. So thank you for joining me throughout all these lessons, and I hope that you enjoyed this course. Thank you, and I will see you on another course.